Assalamu alaikum, Sanmari. Hello, welcome back to FTLF Podcast. Today we're going to talk about the FA Community Shield, a very intense game that went to penalties. And everyone knows what happened. It was a very tightly contested game for 90 minutes. But the main defender, Virgil van Dijk from Liverpool, says he thinks that Arsenal's main chance was the goal that happened. It was a good finish. And he says that they should have done better there and shouldn't have let him come onto the right foot. But obviously finish it off with regards to that goal. I just think that he is right. The whole game they played well, dominated. How the heck did Arsenal pull this off?
I mean, it's the three at the back. That's just all I'm gonna say. It's just a safe formation, and it works for us. You know, we don't have the players to play on the front foot to play a 4-3-3. They're not good enough, so might as well just have a deep block, defend well, and just catch them on the counter. That's what we did, and it worked for us at the end of the day.
Arsenal, the more clinical side, honestly speaking. I mean, Liverpool did control the game, but then when it comes to the final third, it was only Arsenal everywhere. We had so many chances, but there was no finishing from our side. And honestly, as a Liverpool fan, I would give it to Arsenal. They played well.
No, I feel that he's right. Like, Liverpool did control the game, but like that's just my problem with Arsenal, is that we don't control games, but somehow we still win them. So I'd like that to change moving forward. But overall, I mean, both teams played okay. We just edged it. It was a penalty shootout at the end of the day. It could have gone either way. So it was a tough game.
But I do feel if there was extra time, Liverpool would have clinched it.
I need to break it. First of all, let's just introduce our hosts. Today we've got Zishan representing Liverpool. Say hi.
Hey guys, what's up? Welcome.
Representing Arsenal, you know from the previous podcast for the FA Cup final.
This is for the audio listeners.
Yeah.
We're going to show their faces.
Yep. We're going to show the video listeners faces of our representatives. But let's go on. You guys were saying?
Yeah, man. He said that if it went extra time, Liverpool would have clinched it, and I see why he'd say that, because they were beginning to really grow into the game after scoring the equalizer. But I genuinely believe that we would have defended all the way through. This was always going to go to penalties if we did concede later on. So I'm not too, I wasn't too fussed about it really.
See, I feel after 90 minutes, there was no energy left into Arsenal, because once we scored the goal, it was just, and not just after the goal, but then from second half onwards, it was only Liverpool everywhere. So I feel if an extra 30 minutes were given, then it was Liverpool who would have scored another goal.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
I mean, talk about that. Even possession-wise, Liverpool were dominating 60%, and Arsenal.
See, Toby, Liverpool dominate every game they play. But the thing is, ever since the league last season resumed, we haven't been the same, and till now it's the same issue. The midfield, there's no creativity in the midfield. It's all just holding players. So you can see the void.
I mean, I understand that, but what do you think needs to build specifically for the upcoming season if you guys really want to compete? And I know Liverpool are very
for the last 2 seasons, Liverpool have been relying on their fullbacks for all the assists, Clint and Robertson. But I feel it's high time now that we start building around a good midfielder. Yeah. I mean, the rumors with Thiago. Yeah, Thiago's in talks, and I mean, if he does come to Liverpool, I feel the whole style, the whole gameplay can change. Instead of always relying on our fullbacks, we can finally start building from the middle of the park, just like every normal team does.
Yeah, like I feel if Liverpool get Thiago, if Liverpool get Thiago, they may have a case of winning the league again next season because he's genuinely the missing link. Liverpool, I mean, they have Naby Keita who can play in that advanced 8 role. He is talented enough to play that role. You know, if he just gets a run of games, he will play very well. They have the front three: Mane, Firmino, Salah still. So Thiago is literally the only guy that they really need in this team.
Yeah, I mean, we'll get into Thiago a little later when we get into the transfer part of it. But moving on, I want to talk about Ainsley Maitland-Niles, the man of the match.
Yeah,
I mean, you see him staying this season. 2020, 2021 is what I mean.
We were hearing that he was going to go Wolves, and I'll be honest with you, I was pretty, sad to hear that because he really improved. Originally, when he started his Arsenal career, I was always critical of him because of his, lack in concentration and his, bad decision making. But since Arteta came, he's just completely improved. He's matured, and he's an athlete. He's very talented. So I'm just happy that he's staying. I think he's going to stay.
I feel Ainsley also gives Arsenal that versatility where he can play right back and as a right wing back. Because Arsenal keep shifting to a 3 sometimes, and then even in that formation, he does pretty well.
Yeah, Ainsley drifts into midfield from fullback. He does that a lot. That's his game. He naturally does that. He's that extra creative player we need in midfield sometimes as well. So he's very versatile, and I'm just happy that at this point in time, he looks like he's focused on staying with us. So I'm just happy about that.
Since we're talking about versatile players, how about Minamino? The way he performed in that game. Van Dijk, his friend, just mentioned that he expects him to have a great run next season in 2020.
We all saw Minamino at Salzburg, and he was just something else at Salzburg. And I feel Minamino is like a new signing this season because Klopp did not play him ever since he signed back in the January transfer window. He always came on as a sub, and even if he came on, he would just play for 5 to 10 minutes, and that's not enough for a player to show what he can give the team. And I feel this season is where Minamino can actually fit into the whole team and start producing for Liverpool. Because our only midfielder who I can actually compare to Thiago. I mean, I can't even compare him, but then I would say Naby Keita because he's the one who drives the ball in front. We don't have anyone else, and Klopp does not play Naby Keita day in day out. He has this thing where he wants to play Wijnaldum all the time, and I don't really see what's Wijnaldum giving the team. He's just holding the ball back. So I feel Minamino is another midfielder who I can compare into the whole Naby Keita.
Zishan, I need to ask you because I've seen Minamino play on the wing as well, left wing that is. But which position really suits him?
At Salzburg, he used to switch between cam and wing. Yeah. And at the moment, with our front three, Firmino, Mane, and Salah, I don't think there's much to change up there because you would not want to bring bring Mane or Salah into another position. I'm fine with where they are. So I wouldn't see Minamino switching with any one of them. But yeah, I would want to see Minamino in the cam position, right behind Firmino. Yeah. Because Liverpool, we normally play 4-3-3 holding, but if we switch to if we switch to a 4-3-3 attack, that's where I see Minamino giving in a lot of assists.
But would it make sense if you guys get a 10 when you already have Firmino, who's kind of like more of a creative striker? He's not your in and out number 9. He's more of a false 9. So getting a 10 won't make sense. You'd rather get an advanced 8 who can, drop back sometimes, and sort of pull strings behind Firmino. Someone like a Keita. Keita can play that role.
Keita can, yeah. So but you see, Minamino is still not a first team player in my opinion. Especially if Thiago comes, I don't see Minamino starting anytime. He's more of a backup. But then, just like how Chamberlain got his way into the team as well. He never started, but then eventually Klopp did include him, and he did play well in that period where he had a good period in the 2018 season. So I feel Minamino can also have the same impact on Liverpool, where if someone is not available, he can come and do a good job, just the way he did against Arsenal. Wijnaldum came off and Minamino came and scored the goal.
Talking about Ryan Brewster, I need to bring him up because
God.
of the previous friendlies in Salzburg. This man was actually...
I mean, he scored 2 goals
really
against
well.
Salzburg.
Unlucky he missed that penalty, but do you see him in Jurgen's plans, Zishan, for this season?
No, I don't. I don't see him in any Liverpool plan at the moment. He's just not... he cannot fit in at the moment. He has a lot of potential. He scored 2 goals against Salzburg. We were 2-0 down. He is young, but then, in my opinion, we'd rather loan Brewster right now, and then once he develops into a better player, then he can maybe fit into
how old is Ryan Brewster? Isn't he like he's like 23, I think. He's not young like that. He's pretty seasoned.
He's 20.
He's 20.
Is he 20?
He's 20, yeah.
Yeah, he's 20, man.
Okay, fine. I mean, okay, fine. So he has time to improve. I generally don't rate him right now. I think he's very average.
Even I don't rate him.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
Personally, he's not that experienced. When did
he had played well in the Under-17 World Cup
right?
for England.
Then he was sent to Swansea on loan for the 2019-20 season.
Yeah, he was.
I think now he's back for pre-season. Sami, moving on to you. I need to ask you about Mesut Ozil's future, man, because there's so many talks regarding his career.
Well, this morning I heard talks about a team in Saudi willing to pay him 15 million a year.
Yeah, I read that too.
Yeah, I heard about that. I mean, hey, Arteta claims that it's 15 million a year, So I don't really see how Ozil gets into this squad, especially with the fact that in my opinion, he's been finished for quite a while now. I mean, the last good season he had at Arsenal was 16-17. In 17-18, he had a couple decent performances. Yeah, still under Wenger. In 17-18, he had a couple decent performances, but Ozil, his decline has been insane, and I don't see how he fits into Mikel's plans, especially with the way Mikel wants to play. He wants players that are hardworking, players that are gonna put everything on the pitch, run up and down, give 100%, and I don't think Ozil is capable of that. So I don't see how he gets into the squad, if I'm being honest.
But don't you think, wouldn't you, let's say if you were the manager, wouldn't you start Ozil?
Personally, the type of player Ozil is that he's a 10. He's a playmaker. That's what he does. And those kind of players, especially with the way football is advancing, Liverpool have proved that you don't necessarily need a 10 to have a very solid team. You understand? That's why I'm of the opinion that right now we need 2 midfielders, 1 box-to-box and an advanced 8. And then we can play, because a 10 isn't somebody that's going to help contribute in defense. It's not somebody that's really going to, work as hard as the rest. And with the way Arteta wants to play football, I don't see how Mesut Ozil fits into that. I personally wouldn't start Ozil if I was the manager, So
many speculations about Mesut Ozil's future at Arsenal.
It's been going on for years, bro. It's been going on for
quite a while, actually, because Emery didn't seem to favor Mesut Ozil.
Man.
Yeah, and so did Mikel Arteta. But let's move on to the upcoming seasons. So for Liverpool and Arsenal, what are you expecting from this season, Zishan?
Honestly, I have no clue what to expect. See, ever since the season, I mean, I always keep repeating this. I know, I'm sorry, but then I have to. Ever since the season started, we haven't been the same.
Yeah.
We've just been clinching wins with very close margins, and we lost to City, we lost to Arsenal. We drew to Everton and I think another team as well. I mean, the way we finished off last season, you wouldn't feel that these are the Premier League champions. Like, I personally I didn't get that feeling.
There are many people who keep saying that, it's just the mindset of you guys winning the league, which is why y'all haven't been really focused after that. Do you think that's true, or do you think it's just the areas you guys need to fix specifically?
If you asked me the same question back in April, I would say
from
same.
from your point of view.
I would say the same thing. Even back in April, May, July, our midfield lacked. We need a creative player. We need Thiago to get into the team. And it's not just our midfield. I feel we also need another centre back. Gomez is good, but he's a backup player. I don't see Gomez starting each and every game.
I have to say I don't
agree. I don't
rate Gomez. I'm just saying, alright.
You rate Gomez?
I do not.
Yes,
I'm sorry.
I rate Gomez. I think Gomez is a brilliant player.
What do you see?
Because you need to understand that he's not seasoned yet. He's still young, and the fact that he's been next to
See, Samuel, I get that part, but then I don't want to lose points because my player is not.
But Samuel, you see where he's coming from. Liverpool are a team that need to stay in top 3 or top.
Yeah, of course, and they will.
Play Gomez in the FA Cup, play him in the EFL Cup. I don't mind. Don't start him every game.
Gomez is easy. Gomez walks into every defense in the league. Every defense. He gets into Arsenal's defense easy. He gets into Chelsea's defense. He gets into United's defense.
You're mentioning teams that have had weak defenses this season.
Okay, but you need to understand that, yes, the fact that he's next to Van Dijk sort of makes it easier for him, but at the same time, not everybody can play in that Liverpool side with that much intensity over the course of a season. And the fact that he's young as well. Like, I'm not going to lie to you, Gomez, there's a lot of room for improvement. It's obvious. But the guy is good.
I'm not saying he's bad. I'm just saying he is not someone who I see starting every game. He's more of a second choice, a third choice, in fact, after Van Dijk and Matip, who we have at the moment. But then again, I feel we need someone who can do much more than Matip.
I mean, he held it down.
If you ask me personally, I felt Joe Matip had a better season than Gomez, because I think the partnership between Van Dijk and Matip was pretty decent.
It was decent, but the partnership that won Liverpool the league was Gomez and Van Dijk. So how are we going to discredit that?
He's been giving a lot of missed passes. I've noticed that from a few games he's played and he started in. But
I mean, we've been conceding so many goals as well. So I wouldn't give Gomez. I wouldn't even give Van Dijk so much credit if you ask me, because we've been conceding a lot of goals.
Wow.
I heard one rumor. I need to ask you, Zishan. Sorry, I need to ask you. I heard one rumor. I don't know if it's true, but these are rumors again of Nicolas Sule in talks with
Sule.
Yeah, with Bayern and Liverpool.
I had heard about this rumor in Jan actually.
No, this is actually a week
ago. Haven't.
But if you can never tell the transfer market right now. But if by any chance you think he'd be a good fit for you guys.
Any day, and the fact that he's German, that's a boost.
I mean, I think Zishan is being very harsh on his players, man. Like, I'm not gonna lie.
I need to bring up how Samuel's backing a Liverpool player,
I'm being very blunt.
No, let me tell you why. It's because I know the state of my team. If Gomez was in Arsenal, he would improve us massively, because the way he plays for a centre back, he's quick, he's strong, and he understands his role. He knows he does the basics well. He's not mature enough to keep that up, like, consistently as good as Van Dijk, obviously, because he's still growing. But at the end of the day, he has potential, So I just. That's just how I feel.
I need to bring up something from my personal opinion. Don't need to judge me, but potential-wise, I can see a future in Gomez. He's still young, he's still learning. But the only thing,
he's an England international. He's an England international. At
least the Liverpool games I've seen, the ones I've seen at least, which is mostly against Chelsea, I did not rate this guy because of his unnecessary tackles that lead to a lot of fouls. He plays a little dirty.
He's reckless.
His positioning is during set pieces is, I don't know what he does. He's nowhere near the players and he isn't marking as much. Other than his speed and his strength, I'd give him that.
It's not like young.
He's
not like Gomez is shit or he's
I'm
just
not
can't
saying
play.
he's shit. I just don't rate
He's-
him as much.
Yeah, fair play.
I mean, I would prefer Matip any day over.
Yeah, me too.
If you ask me to
I
play,
mean,
if you ask me to play him on the wing, obviously there's competition between Trent, but I prefer him as more of a right back because of his speed, his acceleration, and his.
No way. I've seen Gomez play right back. Like it was.
Didn't he
I
play
think it
right
was
back
when-
against Arsenal in the Community Shield?
No. We had the Nico Williams. He's a academy graduate.
Oh right, yeah.
Nico Williams looks like a decent. He looks
He
decent.
is.
Because he played against Chelsea in the Carabao
He
Cup
did.
at Stamford Bridge. I remember that.
He also played against Arsenal in the. Was it the FA Cup? Where we
No.
won 5. It was 5-5.
It was the Carling Cup.
Carling
The-
Cup, yeah.
The League Cup.
League Cup, yeah. He
Yeah,
played
so-
really well in that game. It was his assist story for the 5th goal, the last minute.
Yeah, I mean, Liverpool have good defenders, bro. Like, if there's anything you can say about that team, is that they have decent defenders.
See, I wouldn't disagree on that, but then I would also want to mention that it's we still do need an addition in the back. If we want to win the league again, we surely do.
No, that's fair. I get that.
I get where you're coming
Yeah.
from. Thiago would be a big boost for you guys, especially in the midfield. You need that player. He needs to keep good.
And coming to let me answer your question regarding the season. I see us in the top 3 for sure.
Yeah.
And besides for that, I have nothing more to say. I'll jinx it.
I mean, no, we've got more podcasts coming up for the upcoming season. It hasn't started yet. Once that kicks off, we've got a lot to talk about. But moving on, before I ask one more question to you, Sean, I need to get to you, Samuel. Even though the Community Shield isn't as big, but again, it's a trophy. But what does this mean for us? What does this mean to us now, personally?
I mean, it's encouraging, lifts the players' spirits up, beating Liverpool
Do you think this
twice in like.
gives a positive answer to your team?
I mean, it does, because these are the champions. We had a weaker squad. If you really want to look at it, our squad definitely not as strong as theirs. We still went away with the W. I personally think that for us to be able to compete next season, we still need to sign 2 or 3 if we're gonna get that top 4 position. But if we don't get the required signings, then it's gonna be a very long season for us. But this Community Shield win should help us really.
I mean, good boost for you guys because there are a few positive rumors.
But like, do you see Arsenal in the top 4?
I mean, do I see Arsenal in the top 4? Like I said, signings. As of
I
now,
think that's the main.
as of now, no.
Let's
As
say
of
if you
now,
go with the same team into the season.
Nah, we won't get top 4 if we go with the same team this season. Mikel is a good manager, but I don't think these players, they're not good enough
But
to achieve
even
that.
though
We
I
still
hate
need
to
to
say
see.
it because I do not like Arsenal, but you guys look pretty good at the back. I will.
It's the 3. It's the 3 at the back thing, and the fact that Mikel implemented it. I mean, we can't play.
You've got Saliba, you've got Gabriel. Alice, you've
Saliba,
got a lot of good defenders at the back right now.
We don't have a lot of good defenders. We don't have a lot.
Cedric Suarez.
But then you know what they say with Arsenal, it's the hope that kills.
It's the hope that kills you, because in my opinion, Rob Holding is trash. David Luiz is finished.
I actually rate Holding.
Mustafi
I hate him.
he can go. Mari just
I'm
Mari
hearing
just
rumors of
came.
Kolasinac going back to Schalke.
Oh, Kolasinac can leave. I'll take him to the airport myself. The guy is garbage. Like, honestly speaking, I can count the number of good defenders we have. Maximum 3 or 4. So yeah, man, we really need to.
What happened to that guy? The Greek guy.
Socrates.
Yeah. Where is he?
He's. I mean, Mikel doesn't rate him, and I can't blame him. The guy is he's not good enough. So
I remember Arsenal fans were boasting about Socrates so much.
Yeah, because he's had an amazing season at Dortmund.
Obviously, we're gonna boast about every new signing
what
we
a
get.
goal.
No.
I
Even
was,
when he played last season, you guys were like, you saw captain in him.
he has that, leadership
Leadership,
vibe to him,
but
he does.
He's experienced.
He's not a good footballer, man. He's really not. All he does is tackle and boot it out. Like, he's useless. We need the finish.
One question to you before we move on to transfers. I want to ask you, Chantal Gomez has mentioned that Liverpool are hungrier than ever to defend their Premier League title. Liverpool's form has taken a turn for the worse since they were crowned champions of England for the first time in 30 years in June 2015. Do you think he's right? Do you think that your team feels more hungrier and motivated? Did this give like a knock on the heads after your loss to FA Community?
I feel it has, because many players have actually come out and spoken about it, about the new season, and I feel now, because till now we won the title and we lost games. We had nothing to lose. We drew friendlies. We had nothing to lose. But then after losing this trophy, I feel now they've got a knock on their heads, and now they'll buckle up.
I mean, to be fair, I don't think Liverpool are hungry as they were last season. They just won the league. I'm pretty sure they're fine with whatever they do from now on. I don't see Liverpool giving City a hard time next season, in my opinion.
Yeah, the gap obviously will not be as much as last season.
It would not.
It's gonna be much closer.
Coming below top 3 for sure, or even top.
Liverpool?
Because if you ask me personally, the two teams that will compete will be Man City and Liverpool again.
You don't think Chelsea can compete?
Top 3 maybe. But again, man, look, we are still developing as a team. All right, these players have just come in. I'm not expecting anything from the very first game. It's gonna take some time. Okay, I'm not going to be one of those delusional fans who just think, we've signed so many good players or we're favorites to win the title. No, man, it's going to take some time to develop. A few of our players are coming from different leagues. They don't know how the Premier League is going to be like and how the physicality is like the main thing, because the Premier League is one of the biggest leagues in Europe.
Don't forget
the big role.
Having players like Ziyech, Havertz, dude, these guys' physicalities are like bad. So this is what really worries me. And honestly, it's just a matter of time and when we need to compete and need to start fighting for titles, dude. Because as of now, it's just the start thing. We get used to it. It's good that we had the preseason friendly against Brighton just last week. But it's going to take some time. I'm not going to expect anything big.
Yeah. I mean, you look at Man City. Man City just announced that, they're going to get Koulibaly as well at the back. And Messi's situation is still up for debate as well. And if Man City get Messi, then I don't see any team giving Man City a hard problem this season. Yeah. Like, City are just going to be winning games easily next season. It's not going to be fair. So, we'll see.
Let's see how it goes. I mean,
do you think Messi will sign for City?
I can see him. I mean, if he does leave, obviously, it is it makes sense why I'd go to City. I mean, obviously, there's Pep Guardiola.
I mean, if he leaves Barca, it makes sense why he would go to City. But then,
he's got the money.
I don't see him leaving.
You don't see him leaving?
No, I think he'll stay.
What's your take on it? Why would you think so? It's just a question.
Because Messi is Barcelona. Barcelona is Messi. We just can't forget the formalities, forget everything.
Because he's done this before in the international team.
And then he came back. Remember?
And then he comes back. There are many speculations
back
with this. So honestly, you know what?
Plus his release clause is something like 750. I don't think any team would.
700. What am I 1,000? Fucking hell. 700. Jeez, my bad. And again, many people are right. Many pundits are talking about this because people are saying that he's doing this just because he wants Bartomeu out, so that in this case, Bartomeu can understand if Messi really wants to stay at the club, then he would resign. I think this could.
I mean,
I think that could be one of the reasons why he's doing this, because he just wants Bartomeu out. And to be honest, man, this guy has done dog shit for Barca. I'm talking
Plus,
about the president.
one more thing is because there are no fans in the stadiums and it's still it's behind closed doors. For generating revenue, there are no fans. So that for buying tickets, where will Man City get all the money from? And 700 million is a large amount. I know oil money and all of that, but still, it's a lot of money.
Oh,
I don't think
have to balance the wages as well, dude. His wages as well. That's not going to be a joke. This guy gets 900k per week, 980k per week, or something like that. So they need to take this into consideration. Apparently, Eric Garcia came out today and said that there haven't been no talks from the players about Lionel Messi. Like, I don't know. I mean, obviously, he isn't talking to the board. He's just the player. But whatever happens,
he's still training. He's still training at Barca. He's still training. You know, he's still Messi. He's still being professional about it. But
didn't he boycott the training?
He did. He boycotted the COVID test yesterday, apparently, or something like that.
He did, but I think he attended a training session that when it was really, you know, everywhere that he was leaving, he attended a training session during that period, though. So he's sort of trying to stay professional. I guess he's not really saying anything, but at the end of the day, we'll see.
I feel Suarez is more likely to be relieved than Messi.
Guys,
I mean, I'm hearing Juve links. I'm hearing Juve links.
Yeah, there have been a lot of Juve links for Luis Suarez. We are out of time, and we need to move on to transfers. Obviously, Gabriel Magalhaes has signed for Arsenal. It has been announced today, officially. Yeah. What is your take on that, Samuel?
The announcement was a disgrace, bro. It was only like
we need to bring that up because that was the most stupidest and cringiest announcements ever.
It was so like us Arsenal fans.
Mention it to the audience if they don't know what you're talking about.
Like, basically, what happened was we knew Gabriel was an Arsenal player for a week now. We knew he was coming.
Yeah.
But like we've been waiting for the actual announcement, and when we see Chelsea's like, oh, they're gonna get Ben Chilwell, the next day he's announced. Thiago Silva, next day he's announced. It's like, yo, this guy's been at London for like a week now, and you're not announcing him. And they finally announce him on a Skype call with David Luiz and Willian. like, are you joking, bro? Like, I was pissed, but I'm happy he's here. You know, we've announced.
I mean, as far as he's there, it's all cool.
Yeah, I mean, so far the business we've done, we've made Cedric and Murray. Cedric and Murray.
A 5-year deal for Gabriel Magalhaes. All right,
that's a good deal. He's a quality defender. You know, I'm happy we got
He's got a lot to show at Arsenal, and I'm so happy for you, brother. 24, am I right? 23.
No, he's something like that. You know, I think he's
23. Yeah, he's 22. My bad. He's turning 23 in December.
22. Yeah, 22. So he's
still got a lot to show. I remember when we were linked with this man back in Jan, but nothing turned out. But we didn't make any transfers in Jan. Moving on, Samuel. There's a question I got from ESPN on Twitter, which I wanted to ask you, which I watched this morning, and I was thinking, why not ask this to Samuel? Saliba Gabriel partnership in Arsenal central defense next season with Tierney, Bellerin, or Cedric, and Luis or Marie, could that be a solid back line? And should you be happy for the defenders you've got? Because I mentioned you guys have a pretty solid back line. But personally, what do you think? Are you happy with what you have?
I'm happy with Saliba and Gabriel coming in. I'm happy with Tierney. And at right back, I don't think Bellerin or Cedric should be starting. It should be Ainsley Maitland-Niles starting at right back. But I'm looking at it like, okay, we're probably going to start the season slow. So we're not going to go to a 4-3-3 straight up. We're going to play 3 at the back. You understand?
I mean, again, you can never tell. It's still pre-season, man. If these players don't develop, I'm talking about Cedric and Bellerin, then it's just a matter of making if you think about it.
I mean, Bellerin, there are talks about Bellerin leaving, you know. PSG, I think, and Juventus are up there. Bayern are also interested in Bellerin, so we may get rid of him. I'm fine with that, to be fair. At the end of the day, I think Niles is our best option at right back, so I could care less if Bellerin goes. But
he was in Unai Emery's plans, if I'm not mistaken, right? Maitland-Niles back in 2018-19 season.
He was, especially, he was in Unai's plans. He's very experienced. He's been playing. He's been around the first team. He knows what's up. So I'm excited to see what he can do next season.
Well, with that, I want to ask Zishan about, obviously, Thiago Alacantra, been linked to a move to Liverpool. What would this mean for you as a fan at Anfield? Obviously, there are talks between United too. But where do you see him?
See, ever since
Coutinho
left, ever since Coutinho left, right?
Mm-hmm.
We never really produced any good balls from midfield anymore. It's our fullbacks now. We don't have that creativity or someone to take the ball in front. Move the ball from the defense.
That activeness as well.
Exactly.
You can drop back and push off.
There is no energy. If you watch your game, the midfielders are just standing there. Getting the ball, passing it. I don't see anyone actually doing a few skills and actually driving the ball, dribbling with the ball. That's not there in Liverpool's game. And I feel having Thiago, it would completely change it would change our whole dimension of the way we play. And Salah and Mane, for example, I have been calling out Salah a lot nowadays. But then I was just thinking to myself, we don't actually have players who are providing Salah, Mane, Firmino with the ball. You see?
That's true. And you need someone to convert and distribute balls to
having Thiago, that distribution factor would
be amazing for you guys. Even personally, if you ask me, Zishan, I think it would be a best fit for Liverpool because of that activeness in the middle of the park. I don't think Fabinho, Hendo, let's be honest, Fabinho, Hendo and Wijnaldum have that.
Fabinho is fine where he is at the CDM position. Yeah, Henderson can not do the job. I'll be honest with you. Yeah, he's a good leader. He's a good character in the team, to boost the morale up.
I believe if you guys get Thiago, Henderson is out of here. You get Thiago, Henderson doesn't play as much.
Sure. Henderson could be a good sub. I don't think he'd...
I would want our midfield to be Fabinho, Thiago and Naby Keita because that's deadly.
But Keita has proven himself this season, if you think about it. He has been on form. And
yes.
Yeah, came from Leipzig back in 2018.
He's just not getting enough time.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys remember, but when Leipzig finished second in the Bundesliga, Naby Keita had a very big role to play.
He did. 2017-18. Yeah,
he had a very big role to play. And that's why we paid 50 million for Naby Keita, because we know what he can give.
If I'm not mistaken, it's him, Werner, and it was Poulsen.
There was also one guy called Keita, if I'm not mistaken. Anyways. Yeah, I feel Klopp really needs to start Naby Keita because I don't know why he's not starting Keita. Why is he behind Wijnaldum? You can clearly see it. Even in the last game against Arsenal, I'm pretty sure Sammy will agree with me. When Keita and Minamino came, our midfield completely changed. You could see energy in Liverpool.
A lot of energy.
Yeah.
They played with so much intent as well. We were always on the back foot.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that's been Liverpool for you, I think, after Jurgen took over. And with that.
One more thing, Toby. If you see Bayern's game, I mean, they just won the Champions League. That intense German football and the way they drive the ball so quick. I feel Thiago is a perfect player for Liverpool.
I mean, you know what? Personally, I see a lot of similarities if you talk about the current form between you guys and Bayern. But I think one top thing about Bayern and one of the biggest assets to them winning the Champions League is all their players are so versatile. They know what they're doing. Each of them are well diverse on their role. They have...
And they're also quick. That's what I love.
And they're quick with the ball, dude. That is like the main important thing, especially now. expecting advanced football. It's all about intensity and being quick.
Now that they have Sane, just imagine them next season.
And now they've got Sane next season. Yeah. Serge Gnabry and Sane on the wings. And the fact that they've got subs who are pretty good and who will be fighting for that spot, because it'll be Coman and Sane who'll be fighting for the left wing position. They've got Nicolas Sule on the bench, as I mentioned. Coutinho is getting back to Barcelona.
Coutinho's back to Barca.
Mr. Samuel, what do you think should happen to him? Do you think
Coutinho won't come to Arsenal?
Coutinho will come to Arsenal if we don't get Aouar, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Aouar should be our priority in terms of an advanced 8/attacking midfielder. So
Olympic Lyon director has mentioned Houssem Aouar has been tested positive for COVID-19 and he is in quarantine, and there hasn't been any offers yet or bids from any clubs, according to him. But I think Houssem Aouar would fit very well in that Arsenal midfield.
He would. I mean, he's such like his, the way he keeps the ball.
And the way he attacks is just amazing. And I think he'd be a good support for Aubameyang and Nketiah if he plays. But I need to bring up, like I said, what's up with him, Samuel? What's going on?
I mean,
I've been hearing Juventus talks and so on, but
I mean, Lacazette didn't have a good season last season. I mean, since he's been at Arsenal, he's been underwhelming. I think it's time we move him on. It didn't really work out, so hopefully we get rid of him this summer.
All right.
That's just my take on it.
Yeah, I think we will get into that once the new season kicks off, and we will have a lot more podcasts coming up. With that said, guys, we will conclude this podcast, episode 6. Thank you so much for tuning in. Just make sure, if you guys are wondering why there's no video, this podcast is just in audio. But hope you enjoyed, and thank you for listening. The links for the podcast are going to be in our description. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. With that said, we're not on Twitter, my bad. Spotify. With that said, we are doing this for the love of football. Thank you and have a good one.
Thank you.
Peace.
Thank you, Toby.